Hello, my name is Jose Vasquez. Let me start this presentation with a simple physics demonstration.
All right, so our track's becoming a little bit more complicated now. It's got two humps to go over. It's having to travel a little bit further up and down. Let's see if that's going to be enough to slow the ball down so that the race is going to be equal.
So two balls the same size, one track is shorter and straight, the other one is longer and dipped. Which of the two balls will reach the end first, the one traveling over the shorter high track or the one traveling over the longer and dipped track? Or if you think they reach the end at the same time, then you can choose C. Now, if you are watching this webinar live or in person, I will be collecting votes from you with some kind of polling device. But since this is a recording, for now, just write or type somewhere close to you what you think the answer is. And if you think you need more time, you can just pause the video. Now, many of you may have chosen C as the correct answer. Well, let me tell you, I've already seen the end of the video, and the balls will definitely not reach the end of the tracks at the same time. So if you choose C, I hate to tell you you're wrong. But I'm going to give you a little bit more time before revealing the answer to you. So if you want, pause the video and think about it more. By the way, I'm going to give you another big tip. Have you ever seen or written the flying chair ride? Well, the physics principle for the flying chair ride to work and the one you need to answer this question is exactly the same. So if you have ever written or seen this ride, then you should be able to answer the question correctly. Now, that was a big tip because I basically gave you the answer. Okay, but take a moment. Again, if you need more time, you can just pause the video. All right, so before I tell you what the answer is, let me ask you something. Do you want me to tell what the answer is? Because if you do, you must ask yourself, why? Why do you care? After all, you have absolutely no skin in the game here. Yes, you were making a choice, but neither I or everyone else knew what that choice was. I mean, yes, if I wanted to incentivize you to care in kind of the same way we tend to incentivize our students, I could have told you something like, I am recording the answers to these questions, and if you answer incorrectly, you will not get paid this month. That would be kind of analogous to when we tell our students, either you get it right or you lose X amount of points in class. Points are like money to our students. But the thing is, I didn't do any of that. They have no skin on the game, so why do you care? Now, some of you may be thinking, well, the reason I care is that this is a physics demonstration, and physics teachers always have the best examples. But good luck getting people to care about the subject I teach, which is a lot more boring than physics. Well, I am an economist, so I challenge any of you to find a more hated class than first-year economics. So if I'm able to make you care about an economics question, then I'm making your attention in suggesting there's something weird going on here in the way I'm motivating you. So I'm going to try that. Now, even if you have never taken an econ class, you must have heard this or seen the central idea of modern economics, which is opportunity cost. We economists think that the cost of anything is whatever best alternative you give up for it. It's a pretty straightforward concept that most of you, again, must have either learned or heard before. So here's a question I've been giving my students on the first day of class for a long time to test whether they know what opportunity cost is. You want a free ticket to see Eric Clapton in concert. Now, Bob Dylan is performing on the same night and is your most attractive alternative. Now, at this point, I have to remind my students these days that Eric Clapton and Bob Dylan are musicians, but you probably know that, so I'm going to move on. Tickets to see Bob Dylan cost $40, but you're willing to pay $50 to see him. Now, you have enough information to answer this question. What is the opportunity cost of Eric Clapton in dollars? So I'm going to put the right answer in front of you along with three other choices. The answer is right in front of you, so take a moment to see if you can choose this. And again, since this is a recording, just pause the video and then think about it for a little bit and then write down what you think the answer is somewhere close to you. Now, as I told you before, if you were watching this talk live or as a webinar, I will be collecting votes for you in real time. For instance, in my own classes, I use iClickerReef to collect answers from the students. So let me show you how they voted in the first attempt of this question when I asked them the last time in the first day of class. As you can see, they split themselves pretty equally among the four choices, which I suspect is the way you actually voted if you're watching this at home as a recording. So let me pick a choice, A, 0. Let me tell you, if you chose 0 as the correct answer, this time I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, but I'm going to tell you that a lot of economics will indeed tell you that you're wrong. Now that you know that, you want to take another crack at it. So again, go ahead, pause the video again if you want, and write down what you think is the answer, but think about, don't choose 0, choose either B, C, or D. Which of those you think is the right answer? All right, so what do you think? Do you want me to tell you what is the choice that most economists would choose? Right, because if you do, you have to ask yourself again, why do you care? There's no skin in the game here. So let's think about it a little more, right? Because there's no external rewards here. So if there is any amount of care, it must be coming from inside. But I think by this point we should be obvious that the main reason you do care about the answer to these two questions is because you're curious. But why are you curious? And more importantly, was your curiosity a direct result of something I did to make you curious? Imagine if instead of using the Clapton-Dillon question, I would have tried to generate the same motivation for the concept of opportunity cost using this question. Now, I'm pretty sure your motivation to participate would have been different. So clearly, then, there must have been some method to the madness here. And what I'm going to do in the rest of the time I have in this talk is telling you about that method. Specifically, I'm going to tell you three things. Why we should begin to focus on curiosity as a way to teach our students. What theoretical framework of curiosity is the most effective for that purpose? And then at the end, I'm going to give you 5 strategies I use today using that curiosity framework to make you curious. And my hope is you can put these tips to work right away, even if you teach a class tomorrow.